Good morning. So today I'm going to show you how I have been thinking about using AI to help me with basic community organizing tasks like block organizing. So a lot of you know I am now the president of my block association on the Upper West Side. We call ourselves the Manhattan 75. Last night we had our very first meeting. I was at that meeting in person and I have a lot of notes from this meeting. So I had everyone go around the room and sort of introduce themselves, who they were, what their hopes and dreams are for the block, and we now have a lot of ideas here. I also had someone share with me this really fun old school newsletter about the block, and we want to think about ways to get this up and running again. I don't know about you, when people give me a lot of material like this, it often adds a lot of emotional load for me to figure out how to do something with it. And AI, I believe, is the best way for us to augment community building tasks so that we can keep moving very quickly. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to use AI to help me with this. The first thing I'm going to do is immediately convert all of my notes into digital form. So on my phone, I'm going to open up ChatGPT. I've actually made a little personalized GPT just for my block association for this purpose. And what I'm going to do is just literally take photos of my notes here. So this is the first page of the agenda. Great. And I'm just going to type in here, transcribe this. And what's going to happen is I'm just going to have that, you can sort of see that image has been uploaded, and I'm writing transcribe it. And this is going to help me just take all of my content that is currently written down and move it into digital form. Okay, so let's do the next one. We had a 2-page agenda yesterday. We talked about a lot of things. It probably will not surprise you to hear the top 3 things from our block meeting were rats, community building, and better communications. My favorite comment from the meeting was when someone was asking, when I was talking about what building I was in, and he said, "Is that the building where they used to throw cats out of windows?" That came from a block resident who's been here for 60 years. I assure you that they don't throw cats out of windows anymore, but some of you may know that I did have a cat jump off of the roof of my building, and that was a little bit scary. Okay, so here we go. Okay, what I have now done is put in all of these materials, and you can see even on my phone what's happening is it's auto-generating the content right there. Okay, so now I'm going to revert to my GPT on my computer. So let's come over here. You should be able to see my screen right now. What is a little bit of a hack for me is I can immediately move things from my phone to my computer by just finding the thread on the left window here. So here, you're seeing that we're in that GPT I built Manhattan 75 block committee leader. And if we scroll up, you can see the pictures of my notes and all the details. So now I'm going to say, now pull all of these details into one thread. And hopefully what's going to happen is it's going to pull in all the pieces of information at once. Okay. What's fun is it's giving a summary for this automatically. I've already pre-trained it a little bit on some information. It's pulling in all of the names of people on the block, which is great. Okay, and now here we're talking about some of the goals. What's really great is, as you can see here, I have an agenda here, and I've been sort of writing notes on the side about who's doing what, and it's already jumping in with details about who is going to help with each of these categories. It looks like we have some ideas of next steps. So I'm just going to copy all of this because this is now really useful information. And I'm going to pull it into a Google Drive doc. So this is now, let's see, our meeting notes from 11/7/24. Okay, so now I want to use that same information. Now just pull out next steps from the meeting. This is going to be for me to make sure I'm giving people the right assignments of what we need to be doing. This was really unstructured notes here. Okay, so what's great is it's pulling in my details from my notes. Who's going to do what some suggestions were made, who's going to be spearheading these different initiatives, what's happening with community events and meetups. We did have a conversation about dues and flea market fundraisers. This is great. Okay, And I'm gonna make these into short bullets with just the names and assignments of everyone. Okay, I just want like the most clear pieces of information here. Okay, fantastic. Okay, this is the list I now get to send to them. But I would never just send this list as its own. This is a sort of like best practices rule from block association planning, is you really want to make sure for GPT uses, you really want to make sure to always take a look. So for instance, we talked about some of these things, but we didn't really decide to prioritize them. The 3 things that we spoke about as prioritizing were rats, which is here. I'm going to give this a little, let's see. Jim is going to attend the training. We're going to take off these for now. I did say that I would help with the next Coffee on the Curb event, so I'm going to add myself in there. Okay, communications and website was definitely a thing. I'm just going to move all this other stuff to the bottom because while we did talk about a lot of ideas, I think it's a little overwhelming for people to just have the entire list up at the top. Removing this for now. We kind of loosely talked about that. Put this down here. I would love a holiday party. I don't think we're quite there yet. And Tamara has offered to host the next one at her home. Great. So, and now I'm going to just do write me an email to thank this group for attending the meeting that includes these next steps. So you can see what I'm doing here is just really iterating with the GPT to help me move forward. It knows a little bit about who was in the meeting, so it has all my notes. I have all the notes now. I don't have to go through it. And here we go. Now I've got a first pass at this. An email. And I'm going to just come right into my email. This was my email to everyone yesterday, reminding them to come. And now I'm just going to dump this in here and edit this. And what's really nice, at least for me, about all of this is I don't have a ton of time to do this meeting work. But as a result of the GPT, I'm able to just do this in 5 minutes without a ton of fuss. And let's move this over here. I'm just gonna leave this one down here. Okay, so now we've got this email, Dear Manhattan 75. I'm gonna update this to sound a little more like me. Thank you all for coming to last night's meeting, and special thanks to Jim for hosting. It was wonderful to see everyone come together and share ideas for the block. I stand by that. Your dedication and enthusiasm are what make this community so special. I'm gonna make this sound more like me. We had so many great ideas surfaced, and I can't wait to see us continue to collaborate. As discussed, here's our short list of what happens now. I'll follow up with groups individually to help move things forward. In the meantime, if you meet anyone else on the block, please let me know. Next steps. And then I'm just gonna put everyone's info right in here. And there we have the Block Association Planning Meeting GPT. Yay.